Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for the week of January 30th. We are going to jump right in here, Aries. And in your current general energies, you have this influence card and this status card. It makes perfect sense. You are gaining influence and status. You have Jupiter in your first house right now. And even though it's going to move into Taurus later on this year, it doesn't really matter. This is your year to take advantage of that Jupiter in your sign energy. So I feel like you could be just gaining a lot of influence. I would be doing anything you can to stand out. You literally have the star right here. And I always talk about this, but it always shows up in your reading, and it always shows up as a victory without even completing this diagonal. I kind of feel like this is going to be some sort of victory for you here. I kind of feel like you have to get over some uncertainty. I think that uncertainty is something that holds us back quite a bit in life. We're not sure like what direction we're going in. And I think that's what this Nine of Swords is just being uncertain. I think the best way to overcome uncertainty is to just set really tiny goals towards whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. Could be love, business, money, spirituality, doesn't matter. But I think that this is kind of like a journey, gaining status and influence in your life. It's something that is going to take a little bit of time. It's something that you are working towards. And again, I would just take those small steps. I mean, like I said, it's crazy that I said this diagonal looks amazing before finishing it. And there you go. You have the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is everything you want to have in your life. It is a tree of life. You have the Moon, the Temperance card, and the Star. I feel like you need to kind of ignore the last 2 weeks. And I'm talking about whatever this week that I'm doing this is. I think it's the week of the 23rd or whatever. Maybe you were a little uncertain this week. Maybe you weren't sure. Maybe there were some things that popped up that kind of made you feel uncertain, or some things that stood out to you. And I think that's what needs to be ignored here with the Moon card. It's just last week, or if you're watching this the week of the 23rd this week, you have the Temperance card. You have the power to take a situation and turn it from a negative into a positive, or a positive into a negative. I always say with the Temperance card, the choice is yours. So I would be focusing on the positive. I would be trying to turn anything around that you possibly can. I also feel like you need to ask the universe for things. There's ripples in the water here on the Temperance card, which kind of represents the, what you are telling the universe you want. Same thing with the Star card. You can see that there are ripples in the water right here. This is the pool of universal consciousness, that pool that she's pouring water into. And she's kind of like asking the universe for what she wants, her big dream. The star is kind of like a big goal, wish, or dream, something that she really desires to have in her life. But she's kind of like asking for it by doing that. And you can also see this water pouring out onto the land here. And that water is also from the pool of universal consciousness. And it kind of represents, since it's pouring out into the world, it represents what's possible for one person is possible for you. You literally have one of my favorite cards in this deck, then one of your next cards, and it's a lizard spirit. It says, dream the world into being. So I feel like imagination, kind of imagining the things you want in life is going to be very important for you as well. With the Moon, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Yes, it's time to take those steps. Again, like I said, uncertainty. The Moon can represent uncertainty. Eight of Pentacles kind of just says, take that first step. Just take a step towards something that you'd want and desire, and you will be successful. And, that's all you have to do here is just take that first step with the Eight of Pentacles, plain and simple. With the Temperance card, you have the Three Wands, Three Wands card of expansion. Whenever we have Jupiter in our first house, we are expanding. It's impossible not to. So, I think you're just in this period of expansion and making changes. With the Star card, you have the King of Swords. This is you becoming an authority figure. Again, I feel like you're really in this energy of kind of standing out because you have the Star. You also have the Chariot and the Ten of Pentacles. You also have the Hermit as well. These are all kind of cards of authority, especially the Hermit. He's been through something, so he has the authority to share it with other people. And so a lot of you, like in your community or in whatever it is you do for work or business, you could be really getting a lot of attention and really standing out as some sort of authority figure. I also do kind of have a side message here. If you're dealing with something legal, like a divorce, a separation, this to me can represent law and order, especially since we go straight to a victory and the Ten of Pentacles. So I would say if you're dealing with anything at all that involves legal stuff, then it looks to me like you are finding success. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, You have this card that says dream your world into being. Again, I think this is Pluto and Aquarius, which I've talked about quite a bit because it's like the most important thing that we're going to be dealing with. And you have the star card here. The star card is about having a North Star, having something to work towards where it doesn't really matter like what's going on in the world. You always work towards it. So it could be some sort of, mantra, some sort of belief system, something that you want to do for the world or something that you think is important that you want to do for yourself. And I think the more you can imagine like what you want to do and what you are doing and how you can present things to the world, the more successful you're going to become. You have the Four of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Nine of Swords. Plain and simple. This is about leaving a comfort zone. Again, another big part of Pluto and Aquarius is the truth. But it's also kind of needing to face the truth. It's needing to realize what things in life keep you stuck or what things you hold on to kind of as a comfort blanket, which we see right here on the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is a never-ending nightmare. It is going to bed, having a nightmare, waking up, being stuck in a nightmare. This right here represents a comfort blanket. It represents something that even through this person's nightmare, they are feeling comforted. But what I would say to you with that Four of Pentacles and the Chariot, which we're going to talk about in a minute, like what comfort blanket are you holding on to? Is there something that you are holding on to because it's comfortable and that is the thing that is keeping you stuck? Literally, he knows he has to leave this city behind him because it is his comfort blanket. He's leaving the city so he can find his own place. So he can find his own place in the world. So he can find a place where he can be his own unique self, where, maybe he is just looking for something foreign. Maybe he's just looking for something different so he can expand, grow, and learn. And you have the Three of Wands right next to it. He also has these stars up here and the moons right here. Kind of represents as above, so below. And there is this overarching energy here of needing to bring a dream down to earth, clearly with that lizard spirit. I would also say we have Saturn moving into Pisces as well this year. So any dreams that you have, you're probably going to be forced to take action on those dreams. And it could be like dreams of growth. It could be dreams of leaving, moving, traveling with the Chariot, but it doesn't have to be. You could just be clearly what you are looking for is your Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is like building and leaving a legacy. And again, I feel more towards the middle of this year as Jupiter moves into Taurus and, throughout the year, that you are probably going to be very focused on Ten of Pentacles. With the Four of Pentacles, again, I feel like there's something that is a comfort blanket that needs to be let go of. You already know what this is. It might make you feel secure, but I feel like it also provides a lot of uncertainty. Like, I feel like it creates a lot of uncertainty in your life. It could be like, I don't really have any good examples other than, it's a bad example because I don't really feel this way personally because I have other things, but it's like this YouTube channel. There have been a lot of changes on YouTube that are kind of like making me a little bit nervous for this channel, right? And what I would say is if I didn't have other things, I'd be more concerned about it. But it's kind of like one of those things where I feel like maybe there are some, if what I'm trying to spit out here is if I cared more about views and things like that, which I do care. That's not what I'm suggesting. What I'm suggesting is, like, if this was a lifeline for me, then I would be a little bit uncertain about the future, and I would be uncertain about what next step to take. And I think that if I was in a different position, maybe it would make me question things. Maybe it would make me nervous to take actions or to make changes. So when we're in this position of uncertainty, I think it makes us nervous to make changes or do things differently or to innovate, which is exactly what we need to be doing right now with Pluto going into Aquarius. So, it's kind of like, I don't even know what to call it. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Hangman. Again, you've gained some sort of enlightenment about some changes you need to make. And again, I wouldn't be afraid to flip things on their head. I was just listening to a video where I was listening to a video, I think it was about Richard Branson, and he was saying something about how you need to like stick out like a sore thumb in a boring market. That's how he's become very successful in business, right? By sticking out like a sore thumb in boring markets that people are normally not interested in, like cat food or something like that. That's my look out for Chris's cat food. It's coming for all the cat ladies. But what I would say here is that it's like, can you flip something on its head and make it super exciting? Can you, turn things around in your life and make something so outrageous that you stand out? I don't know why that's popping into my head, but it is. So there you go. With the Chariot, see, I think you need to make something outrageous here is what's popping into my head. Kind of reminds me, I'm just going to give you some examples here. It reminds me of the dating world. Like, I get recommended all the videos that all you lovely people watch about dating and everything like that. I see the red pill, the blue pill, the ladies, the everything that's going on, right? All the sides. I don't care. I don't care about any of the sides. I think people really honestly need to get over themselves and just, try to become the best version of themselves, and then you will attract love, right? If everybody did that, we wouldn't need all the pills. We wouldn't need all the, relationship experts that have been divorced 35 times, which I don't understand at all, right? But what I would say here is, like, everybody's the same, right? It's like all the ladies seem to be hating on the men. And again, I'm making a broad statement here. I'm not criticizing anyone, right? All the red pill guys, they hate the ladies or whatever. Maybe they don't, I don't know, but they have their views, right? And again, I'm not judging any views as being right or wrong. But what I would say is, like, what if you went the completely other opposite direction, right? What if, like, all you guys out there, what if you went the opposite direction, did something totally outrageous, totally different? It's almost like doing that is going to be the thing that invites what you want into your life, right? Because it's like everybody's being the same, if that makes sense, Or maybe that's not even accurate. Maybe it's more that there just seem to be these collective beliefs, right? So it's like, how can you flip it on its head? And maybe that's a thing that brings you what you want. Same thing, and again, I use relationship as an example, but clearly this is a financial reading, so it could be something financial, right? With the Nine of Swords, you have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords says you need to set yourself free. It's a self-imposed restriction, so again, I feel like you need to let go of the comfort blanket. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this card that says, be willing to let go of everything you once thought to be true. I literally just said that. There you go. Basically, you have this artist card that says creative endeavors can help you improve your cash flow. I think some of you don't realize how creative you actually are. I don't really feel there's anything unexpected here other than, again, I think flipping things on their head. I don't have, without knowing your situation, I can't help you. But what I would say is anything you could do to take a situation in your life and say, like, what's the complete opposite and how can I make it crazy? Again, how can I stick out like a sore thumb in something that has become boring, in something that has become complacent? That's really what I'm getting here. How can I be outrageous is the question I think you need to ask. And again, we're not talking about, you can be outrageous in a negative way, of course, but you can also be outrageous in a positive way, and you can create positive change. So, that's what I would be, that's the direction I would be moving my brain here. I would also, don't be afraid to be creative at this time. You have the Ten of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. I do feel that for some of you, I don't think it's a major focus here, but I do feel there could be a person that you are interested in, or there will be a person coming in very soon who you could be interested in. I feel like this person's very dreamy. I feel like they're very independent as well with the Nine of Pentacles. So I almost don't get this as your energy. I kind of do, and I'm going to explain this in a minute, but I feel like this person's very independent. I feel like they kind of, March, maybe very eccentric as well, which would make sense with the Pluto and Aquarius, right? I think a lot of us could be attracting people who are maybe just like a little bit outside the norm, flipped on their head, exactly what I was talking about. But I mean this in a good way, not in a bad way, like they want to be unique. So there are a lot of unique situations coming in for you here, Aries. I also feel there's a lot of success coming in with this Nine of Pentacles. I would say you're attracting someone with a lot of skills. Like they probably, but I would say focus skill. Nine of Pentacles is a card of focused skill. Maybe they're an expert in some area of life or their business, so that could stand out to you. I also do feel like there is clearly a change in your finances with the Ten of Pentacles. Again, even though this is the row of the unexpected, it's another one of those weeks where I really don't think there's anything unexpected coming in. Which seems to be the truth for a lot of people, but it's definitely true for you. I think maybe what's a little bit unexpected is how quickly there can be a turnaround in your finances. But intuitively, I'm just getting that you're going back to baseline. It's like maybe over the past few weeks or something, maybe your finances have gone down a little bit. I think what's unexpected is that they're coming back up to the level that you're used to. And, I think that if you experienced a dip in your finances recently, I feel the universe is like trying to say like, okay, you want this security. That was uncomfortable. The dip, even if it wasn't a very big dip, the dip was uncomfortable. Ten of Pentacles is what you want. There's a certain baseline there. So what actions can you be creative enough with that artist card to come up with solutions that could guide you towards a better baseline, right, as far as your finances are concerned? With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Cups. Fortune after difficulty is what I'm feeling here. That's not what the Ace of Cups really represents. To me, the Ten of Cups is a card of fortune after difficulty, but for whatever reason, I feel there's like fortune after difficulty, or a benefit or something good coming in after a difficult period of time. And again, it could be this return to kind of your baseline finances or whatever. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Chariot. I would be running toward, you might be moving very quickly towards a person here. That could be a little unexpected. With the Tower and the Chariot, that can represent a move. And everybody has had the Tower, by the way. It would not surprise me if there was a collective Tower moment this week, in the week of the 30th. I keep forgetting what week it is, but, it wouldn't surprise me. And it could have to do with something happening at a distance. It could have to do with movement. Anything that has to do with movement as well could be happening. But I also feel like you could be moving. It could also be you charging towards a person or them charging towards you. With the Page of Cups, you have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands says you need to commit to your dream. Page of Cups, he's looking at that fish. That fish is part of his dream. It's in his imagination. It might not exist. It might just only exist right here between his two ears. So I feel for a lot of you that you need to move quickly towards something that you are imagining, because I feel like there could be a lot of success there, but you're also going to have to commit to it. Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. It says when you know that you're going to have something, you'll have it. Finally, for messages from your guides, you have this community card. I've been saying it for 2 years now. Teamwork makes the dream work, of course, because we have Pluto going into Aquarius. So anything you can do to work with other people would be very beneficial. It doesn't even have to be like literally working with them, but I would still recommend it. A lot of you could be just getting help from your community as well. You have the Two of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the Three of Swords. See, I feel like you need to open up here, especially if you went through a heartbreak. It doesn't have to be love. You could have just experienced a heartbreaking situation in your life. And I feel this is saying it's time to forgive the past situation, and I feel it's time to leave hermit mode, and it's time for you to ask for help. He has the star in his lantern, and maybe he's not shining the star brighter. Maybe he's not opening up that lantern and letting out his star because he's uncertain, right? So it seems to me like your reading is very simple. I think that you need to open up to uncertainty and just in doubt, right? Doubting something, because I feel a little bit paralyzed, that you might be a little bit paralyzed by doubt, hangman energy here as well. But I think once you take action, you're going to be really surprised. You have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles kind of says this and that are true. If you're afraid to take a new action in your business because you're afraid that your business will fail if you take a new action, then that's true. If you think that you're going to take the action and it'll be successful, that is also true. And Two of Pentacles basically says you have to put in the work. If you put in the work, you will be successful. And that's kind of like what I'm getting here. I'm also getting something about a settlement. Again, we talked about this earlier. It keeps popping into my head. If you're going through a divorce, separation, you could be receiving a settlement or, something along those lines. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the Moon. Uncertainty. The Moon doesn't say stop. The Moon says you have to go towards those mountains that are traditionally on the back of a traditional moon card, and those mountains represent an achievement. So I feel like there are big achievements coming in for you, but I really feel you have to charge towards those mountains, right? With the Hermit, you have the Ace of Wands. Very passionate new beginning coming in for you. I think you're going to be surprised by any new creative opportunities that could come your way as well. You might be saying, I'm not creative. I got that on that artist card, but I think you would surprise yourself with your creative ideas, with your, the things that inspire you. That artist card on the bottom of it, it literally says, seek out the things that inspire you and help you boost your creativity. So if there's anything that you find inspirational or anything that you find motivational, I would kind of tap into those energies. I feel they'll be helpful. With the Three of Swords, you have the Six of Wands, success. It's like you're overcoming something here. I said fortune after difficulty with the Ace of Cups. Three Swords and Six of Wands is like overcoming adversity, overcoming some sort of trial or tribulation, which it seems like you have been doing or are doing. And I think the one thing you could do is stick out like a sore thumb. Be outrageous here, Aries. That's like your main message. We're going to pull 3 yes or no question cards. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3 right here. If you have questions, great. Feel free to pause the reading in 1, 2, 3. If not, we're going to put all 3 together at the end like a personalish reading. So for question number 1, I would say yes if you're asking about moving or walking away. I would say no if you're asking about staying in a situation. For question number 2, I would say no. I would say that you need to see something through to the end here with the Ten of Wands. But if you're thinking about putting work into something, I would say no. And for question number 3, I would say yes. You have these Six of Swords. Putting it all together, plain and simple, you are walking away from something that has been very difficult. So Aries, be outrageous.